Have you ever found yourself wondering if there was a simple, easy step you could take before going to bed that might help you wake up with a more acute sense of sight and a sharper, more focused mind? Can you imagine drifting off to sleep at night knowing that the very food you just consumed is working silently within your body, actively mending your eyes, fortifying your memory, and providing your brain and vision with the gentle, essential care they need as you rest? This might sound like something out of a storybook, but allow me to share a profound truth. The natural world has already provided us with such a remarkable gift, and it is found within 3 incredibly potent dry fruits. These aren't some hard-to-find, costly, or foreign ingredients. They are straightforward, everyday foods that are likely already in your kitchen pantry, and they can be easily incorporated into the nightly routine of older adults. To support their eye health and brain function in a completely natural way, please stay with me until the very end of this discussion, because once you understand the power of these dry fruits, your perspective on your evening snack will be transformed forever. Before we delve into the details, I would like to take a moment to kindly ask you to subscribe to my channel. Give this video a like and leave a comment below. Your engagement truly helps me continue to share these simple, natural, and highly effective tips to help you maintain the health of your eyes and body. Now, let's get started. As a medical professional, I have observed that many seniors frequently encounter 2 interconnected challenges: a gradual weakening of their vision and a concurrent decline in their memory. Over the course of many years, the delicate cells within our eyes and brain undergo a process that medical experts refer to as oxidative stress. This occurs when harmful free radicals build up within the body, starting to inflict damage upon these sensitive tissues. Have you noticed a persistent blurriness in your vision, or perhaps a feeling of dryness in your eyes? Are you concerned about your risk for conditions such as macular degeneration or diabetic retinopathy? In the brain, this can manifest as episodes of forgetfulness, a slowing down of thought processes, or a struggle to recall specific details. The good news, however, is that specific nutrients, particularly antioxidants, healthy fats, and natural vitamins found in dry fruits possess the ability to directly combat this stress, provide nourishment to our cells, and assist in slowing down these undesirable changes. That's precisely why the first dry fruit I want to discuss with you this evening is the formidable almond. For centuries, almonds have been celebrated in ancient forms of medicine. In fact, numerous traditional health guides, from Ayurvedic texts to older European herbal books, have praised almonds as a powerful nourishment for the brain. Modern scientific research corroborates this ancient wisdom. Almonds are exceptionally rich in vitamin E, a potent antioxidant that provides protection to the nerve tissues located in both your brain and your eyes. Did you know that one particular study, published in the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease, even suggested that dietary habits higher in vitamin E were connected to a slower rate of cognitive decline? When it comes to your eyes, vitamin E plays a crucial role in shielding your retina from the damage caused by free radicals, those very particles that can lead to weakened eyesight as we get older. Let's consider this in a practical day-to-day context. When you consume a small portion of soaked almonds before you go to bed, you are essentially providing your body with a natural form of protection. As you sleep, your body is engaged in a process of repairing and restoring itself. The almonds provide your system with the essential tools it needs to protect memory cells and eye tissues from the wear and tear they experience during the night. Many of the older patients I have personally worked with have reported that eating almonds on a regular basis not only helps them feel more mentally alert in the morning, but also helps to alleviate that dry, tired feeling in their eyes that is often associated with aging or diabetes. But here's an extremely important piece of advice. Almonds are best consumed after you have soaked them in water for several hours or even overnight. Why is this so important? Soaking softens the nuts, which makes them much easier to chew and digest, a particularly helpful benefit for seniors who may have sensitive teeth or digestive issues. It also helps to reduce the compounds called tannins in the skin of the almond, which in turn allows your body to absorb more of the valuable nutrients. So instead of reaching for a heavy, potentially unhealthy snack in the evening, I encourage you to try 5 to 6 soaked almonds. It is a simple adjustment that can truly yield significant results. Before we move on to the next powerful dry fruit, I would like to pause here and pose a question to you. Are you finding this information helpful for your personal health? If your answer is yes, please do not forget to click the like button on this video. Subscribe to my channel if you have not yet done so, and please share this information with a loved one who you know could benefit from it. These small gestures from you are incredibly meaningful for the growth of this channel and empower me to continue sharing natural, scientifically backed advice for a better quality of life. Now let us continue our discussion. The second dry fruit that certainly deserves a prominent place in your evening routine is the walnut. Walnuts have a very distinctive shape that remarkably resembles the human brain, and as a matter of fact, they are indeed considered one of the most beneficial foods for promoting both brain and memory health. They are absolutely loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, specifically ALA, which is essential for nourishing the fatty membranes of your brain cells. These beneficial fats play a crucial role in improving communication between your brain cells, which can lead to a sharper memory, better concentration, and even more stable moods. For seniors, this is especially vital because the age-related decline in brain function is frequently linked to a reduction in the intake of healthy fats. But walnuts aren't just for the brain. When it comes to your eyes, the omega-3s in walnuts help to diminish inflammation and dryness. This is an incredibly common problem among older adults, particularly for those living with diabetes, who may suffer from dry eyes due to a decrease in proper tear production. Several studies have shown that consistent walnut consumption can improve eye moisture and help protect the retina from damage. So when you take the time to enjoy 2 or 3 walnuts at night, you are providing your body with a vital source of fuel to keep your mind alert and your eyes feeling comfortable. I will provide more in-depth information about walnuts in the next part of this discussion, along with the third powerful dry fruit that many people tend to overlook, but which can perform incredible wonders for both your memory and vision while you are sleeping. So you definitely won't want to miss it. And once more before we proceed, allow me to gently remind you to hit the subscribe button, give this video a like, and share your thoughts in the comment section below. This simple action helps my message reach more people like you, who are actively seeking natural methods to take care of their eyes and memory. As we were saying, walnuts are truly a powerhouse for both the brain and the eyes. When you really stop to consider it, your brain is composed of nearly 60% fat, and a large portion of that is in the form of omega-3 fatty acids. This is why incorporating walnuts into your evening snack is such an incredibly powerful strategy for seniors. Research that was published in the Journal of Nutrition, Health and Aging highlighted that seniors who included a diet rich in walnuts performed better on memory tests and showed improved cognitive function when compared to those who did not. Can you imagine how profoundly meaningful this could be in your own life? A small handful of walnuts could potentially help you remember names, recall conversations, and even minimize those small senior moments of forgetfulness. At the same time, walnuts are also rich in melatonin, a natural compound that promotes a more restful night's sleep. This is particularly important because many older adults struggle with sleep disturbances, and a lack of quality sleep can exacerbate issues related to both eye and brain health. By eating a few walnuts before bed, you are not only providing nourishment to your brain and eyes, but you are also preparing your body for a deeper, more restorative night's sleep. When you achieve better sleep, your memory becomes sharper, your mood becomes more stable, and your eyes feel more refreshed the following morning. It's truly like giving your entire system a reset button every single night. Another fascinating point to consider is how walnuts assist with circulation. They contain arginine, an amino acid that helps to enhance blood flow. Why is this so important for your health? Because healthy blood flow means that more oxygen and essential nutrients are able to reach your eyes and brain. Poor circulation, on the other hand, is a common issue among seniors, especially for those who are managing diabetes or high blood pressure. And it directly affects both vision and mental clarity. By supporting improved circulation, walnuts offer long-term protection for two of your most vital organs, your eyes and your brain. Now let's talk about the third dry fruit one that often doesn't receive as much attention, but which is incredibly beneficial: raisins. Yes, those small, naturally sweet dried grapes that many of us enjoyed as part of our childhood snacks. Raisins may seem simple, but they are packed with powerful antioxidants, iron, and natural compounds that provide support for both memory and eye health. For your vision, raisins are particularly rich in polyphenols, which help to combat oxidative stress in the retina. Studies have suggested that these compounds may reduce the risk of age-related macular degeneration, a leading cause of vision loss in individuals over the age of 50. For my senior patients who have diabetes, raisins are also an interesting option because despite their sweetness, they have a low to moderate glycemic index. This means that when consumed in small controlled portions, they do not cause the rapid spikes in blood sugar that you would get from candy or sugary desserts. Instead, they provide a slow, steady release of energy that supports the brain and helps to stabilize blood flow to the eyes. In terms of memory, raisins contain natural boron, a trace mineral that has been linked to improved cognitive performance. Boron helps the body use calcium more effectively, which is an important process for healthy communication between brain cells. Many seniors I have spoken with have noticed that when they swap their late-night cookies or heavy snacks for a small handful of raisins, they not only sleep more soundly, but also experience less mental fog the next morning. It is a subtle but consistent improvement that accumulates over time. Here is a straightforward tip you can start applying in your daily life. Try combining 5 soaked almonds, 2 walnuts, and a small handful of raisins to create a simple bedtime snack. Remember to soak the almonds in water earlier in the day. Crack open the walnuts and pair them with the raisins for a naturally sweet touch. This particular combination is gentle on your digestive system, provides you with sustained energy throughout the night, and acts like a quiet repair kit for your eyes and memory cells while you are resting. However, please remember that moderation is absolutely key. Eating too many dry fruits at once can overtax your digestion or add unnecessary calories. For the majority of seniors, 5 to 6 almonds, 2 to 3 walnuts, and a small palm full of raisins is the perfect amount to gain the benefits without any accompanying discomfort. If you are finding these tips beneficial, I would appreciate it if you would pause for just a moment and click the like button, subscribe if you have not yet done so, and share this with your friends or family members who may also be interested in naturally protecting their eyes and sharpening their memory. Your small actions make a huge difference in helping to spread this knowledge to others. Now, before we move into the final part of our discussion, let's take a moment to reflect. By simply choosing to eat these 3 dry fruits before bed, almonds for their vitamin E, and protection against oxidative damage, walnuts for their omega-3s, and brain support, and raisins for their antioxidants and natural energy, you are providing your body with a natural, safe, and effective way to repair itself during the night. You do not need complex supplements or expensive treatments. All you need is consistency, patience, and a trust in the immense power of nature's simple foods. In this final section, I will guide you on how these 3 dry fruits function together as a team, share a few practical bedtime routines you can adopt, and also explain how to adjust your portions if you have underlying conditions such as diabetes, high blood pressure, or digestive issues. So be sure not to miss it. And as always, please remember to subscribe, like, and leave a comment below with your thoughts or personal experiences. Your feedback helps to build this community of individuals who are committed to living healthier, clearer, and more vibrant lives. Now that we have discussed almonds, walnuts, and raisins individually, let's bring it all together and see how these three work synergistically as a team. You see, maintaining good health is not about relying on one single nutrient or food. It's about achieving balance, harmony, and consistency. Almonds, walnuts, and raisins. Each target different, yet interconnected areas of health. And when you combine them, their effects become even more powerful. Almonds work to protect your brain and eyes with vitamin E and antioxidants. Walnuts provide your mind with essential omega-3 fats and help to calm inflammation, while raisins add a touch of natural sweetness, iron, and protective polyphenols. Together they form what I like to call a night repair trio. This trio does not simply feed your body. It actively restores, nourishes, and protects while you are resting. It is like giving your brain and eyes a gentle night shift of workers who come in while you are sleeping, clean up the damage from the day, and prepare you for a fresh start in the morning. Think about the way most of us spend our evenings. Many people reach for a heavy snack, perhaps some fried food biscuits, or even late-night desserts. These choices not only weigh down your digestion, but also disrupt your sleep, leading to sluggish mornings and increased stress on both your eyes and brain. By replacing those choices with a small bowl of these three dry fruits, you are not depriving yourself. You are, in fact, upgrading your body's innate ability to heal naturally. And the best part is that you will begin to feel the difference within just a few weeks. I had a patient, a 62-year-old gentleman with type 2 diabetes, who used to constantly complain about morning fogginess and persistent dry eyes. After he started this simple routine of having soaked almonds, walnuts, and a few raisins before bed, in addition to adjusting the timing of his dinner, he noticed that his eyes were less irritated and his concentration at work significantly improved. These seemingly small lifestyle changes often accomplish more than we realize, especially when they are practiced with consistency. Now let's discuss some practical, actionable steps so you can begin applying this to your daily life starting tonight. First, portion control is of the utmost importance. As we mentioned earlier, aim for 5 to 6 soaked almonds, 2 to 3 walnuts, and a small handful of raisins. This is typically about 1 tablespoon of raisins, which is enough to give you the benefits without causing too much of a rise in your blood sugar. Seniors who have diabetes should be especially mindful here. Do not exceed that portion size. And always be sure to pair the dry fruits with a glass of water to aid in digestion. Second timing is critical. Try to consume these dry fruits approximately 30 to 45 minutes before you plan to go to bed. This gives your body a chance to begin digesting and absorbing the nutrients before you fall asleep. Eating them too close to bedtime might make you feel heavy or bloated, which could potentially interfere with a restful night's sleep. Third, consistency is the ultimate key. You will not notice a change overnight. You must give your body the time it needs. With regular use, most people begin to notice improved energy, sharper mornings, and less eye strain within 3 to 4 weeks. Over a period of several months, the benefits will deepen as your cells rebuild and strengthen. And here's one more helpful tip. Keep your evening snacks simple. Do not combine these dry fruits with too many other heavy foods, like milk sweets, fried items, or sugary snacks. The entire concept is to provide your body with clean, powerful nutrition without overloading it. Think of it as medicine from nature, light healing and highly effective. If you have high blood pressure, walnuts and almonds are particularly beneficial for you because of their magnesium and potassium content, which help to relax blood vessels and improve circulation. However, if you are currently taking blood-thinning medication, it is always a wise idea to consult with your doctor before making any significant changes to your diet. For those with diabetes, I urge you to monitor your blood sugar and see how your body personally responds to this change. Every individual is different, and keeping track will help you understand your personal limits. Now you may be asking yourself, what if I forget one night? Please do not worry. The ultimate goal is not perfection, but rather consistency. Missing a single day or two will not erase the benefits you have gained. But the more regularly you practice this bedtime ritual, the stronger and more profound your results will be. We also must not forget the importance of hydration. Drinking a glass of water before bed along with your dry fruits helps to flush out toxins and prevents your eyes from becoming dry overnight. Many seniors tend to overlook this, but even mild dehydration can make your memory slower and your eyes feel more tired. So consider it a non-negotiable part of the routine: soaked almonds, walnuts, raisins, and a simple glass of water. Now let's consider the bigger picture. Why are these natural solutions so incredibly effective? Because they work in harmony with your body's natural rhythms rather than against them. At night, your body enters a dedicated repair mode. Cells are replaced, tissues are restored, and memory is processed. By providing it with the right nutrients at the right time, you are simply giving it the tools it needs to perform its job at a higher level. You are not forcing anything. You are simply supporting. And this gentle support is often far more powerful than the strongest medicine. For seniors in particular, this approach is deeply empowering. You do not have to feel helpless when it comes to memory loss or vision decline. You can take control one simple choice at a time, beginning with something as easy as a few dry fruits before bed. It's a routine that is deeply rooted in tradition, fully supported by modern science, and validated by countless real-life experiences. And now, as we reach the conclusion of this video, I want to leave you with a final thought. Your health is not built in a single moment, but in small, daily steps. Big transformative changes are the result of consistent little habits. Choosing soaked almonds, walnuts, and raisins before bed may seem like a simple choice, but over time it will become one of those habits that can truly transform your mornings, protect your eyesight, and help keep your memory sharper for many years to come. So tonight, as you get ready for bed, I want you to ask yourself, will I give my brain and eyes the gift of nature's night repair trio? I sincerely hope your answer is a resounding yes. If you found this video to be helpful, please do not forget to subscribe, click the like button, and leave a comment below. Share your experiences with these dry fruits or let us know if you are starting this routine tonight. Your voice matters, and your feedback can inspire others in this community to take charge of their own health. Thank you so much for watching and for spending this valuable time with me. Remember, your eyes and memory deserve the utmost care, and nature is always here to assist. Take care, sleep well, and I will see you in the next video.